motherhood brings out so many gifts, talents, resources that you didn't even know you have.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that's very kind of inspiring. And it makes me look at motherhood as such a precious opportunity in life, because it also shapes you as you interact with this little human being that has come into the world and all that is associated with that human being. You realize, hey, there's so much God has packed into your life that can only come out in the space of being a mother. Yeah.
Motherhood changed me. I say it was like a 360-degree turnaround for me, because here is a little human being that knows no one else but me, and I had to be present and drop those my ways.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Take This With You. Take This With Me. I always forget that. This is our 5th episode. And first of all, thank you to everyone who's been watching, who's been subscribing. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. And that's a really big thing for me. So thank you for all of that. Today's episode is yet another exciting one and a very special one. And you'll find out why in a short while. I'm ambushing these ladies who are looking very nervous. Loosen up a bit, okay? It's just a conversation. So why don't you start by introducing yourselves, and we'll start on that end. Who are you?
Well, my name is Lilian Kimando, a very good friend to Hope, and Hope is my good friend. I am a mother of one girl. She's 6 years old. And professionally, I am in digital transformation, and I'm excited to be here, even though I don't look like it.
And you're the founder of what?
Oh, I'm the founder of a executive coaching business. It's called The Presence, where we coach people on how to work on their presence, how they say it, how they walk into rooms, and generally how to show up better.
Yeah. And we can tell from the way you've dressed, you're really commanding the room.
Thank you.
And Lilian is a Toastmaster, very big on that, on public speaking.
Yes, I am a Toastmaster. I've been one for like 5 years. It's a platform where we continue working on our communication and public speaking skills, and above that, leadership skills. It is a volunteer organization where you get the opportunity to meet with people, learn many personalities and how to work with them. And it's an environment where people cheer you, not because they've been forced to, but just to make you push yourself a little bit more to become better. And I have really advanced in my leadership skills because of Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
her hosting skills. So if anyone is looking for a host, MC, conversation moderator, all that, Lilian is the person.
Thank you.
And in the middle, please tell us your name and who you are.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hope, for having me. My name is Christine Karanja Mutua. Professionally, I'm in the higher education space. I'm also a mother of 3. And Hope is my daughter.
Yeah, no pressure. So it's taken a while to convince the two of you to come here. There's a lot of nerves when you're interviewing your friend and your mother, but I'm glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you're also an author. Tell us.
Oh, yes. In my other life, I write books, especially to mentor young people. So one of my books is called Do Not Marry a Poor Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it about?
So it's essentially a conversation with a younger person. And by the way, that could be either a guy or a lady. And just trying to tell them, before you finally say, I do some background check and discover for yourself, who is this person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? So basically, it's a conversation to just check, because marriage is so permanent. You don't want to get in there and discover this might not have been the person I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. Do not marry a poor man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm happy to have contributed to that. Me who
Yes,
knows
Hope
not much
was-
about marriage.
Oh, yeah, she was my editor. Would you believe it?
This child you gave birth to.
And I hope that she also read and was not just an editor, but got 1 or 2 points.
And she distributed to her friends.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Trying to
yes.
get people to marry right.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into today's conversation, just like to know what's been bringing you joy lately.
I think for me, a couple of things. I'm at that space in my life where it's like I have quite some time for myself. And that is giving me joy because I can do the things that excite me more. I can go to the garden and pull out weeds without feeling guilty or anything. So just some time for myself. I think for me that is good. And also professionally, after being maybe in spaces where I felt constricted, I'm now in a position where I can experiment 1 or 2 things. Yeah.
I like that. And you, Lilian?
Lovely. I am in the space where I am learning to find joy in the moment. Yeah, not looking forward to big things that will happen. It's been tough because we're always planning. There's something that's coming up. I'm looking forward to that we miss what's happening in that moment. For instance, when I was on my way here, someone just called me like, "Hi, I've seen you. You're looking so cute." And I was like, "Okay." I checked myself in the mirror and I smiled. I'm like, "Oh, that was lovely."
Aw.
And even I had a lot of pressure on the road that just calmed me down. So I'm really trying my best every day to look for pockets of joy because I believe they are there. Just looking at the two of you, I'm like, I'm sitting here with mom and daughter. Is how amazing. Yeah, because the future will come with its moment. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, such cute, serious things. Okay. All right. So both of you have alluded to it a bit, but today's conversation is about motherhood and the ways in which it shapes you as a woman, especially, and changes you and also pushes you to grow to other levels. And as we start, I'd just like to know, maybe take us back to that time when you found out you are about to be a mother. What was going through your mind? What were the emotions? Were you happy? Were you scared? Were you like, oh my goodness, what's happening?
Ooh, oh my God. A lot was happening. That moment, I was scared. I was confused. I was like, this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. That was my exact reaction because it came at a time it was not planned. It was not expected. And I had just made a career move. I had just resigned. So when I found out, I was like, oh my God, I am about to move into a new town, into a new job. I don't know anyone there. And then this. And then things didn't work out with the father of my child. So that was double trouble. So it was a very, very tough season for me. And it came with its own negative effects to the pregnancy. So the first 12 weeks, I remember, were the toughest ever. Yeah, a lot of confusions, and I didn't tell people. I kept it to myself, not even my mother.
Oh, wow.
Not even my mom. I kept it to myself for 12 good weeks because I didn't know how this would unfold. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and what about you? I hope you remember, even if it was so many years ago.
Oh, yes, it's many years ago.
Yeah.
But interestingly, I was married and I had always looked forward to be a mother. But when I realized that I was going to become a mother, it's interesting that I didn't think so much about motherhood,
Mhm.
I think what consumed my mind a lot was, how was I going to give birth? I think for me, I always associated giving birth with a very scary experience and all that. And I think for me, it's like I didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about motherhood. It's actually when I gave birth that I started thinking, oh, what has just happened?
A bit too late.
Well, but at least I did some good thinking
Uh-huh.
each and every day.
Mm.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. And so what were the first few months of motherhood? Did you finally tell your mother? What was the first few months like?
Of course, telling my mom the first question with the African, my hair, where's the father?
Uh-huh.
I was like, please don't ask me about that. Things are not working out. And the beauty is that she was very understanding and very supportive throughout that season. And then now I got the courage to start sharing with my friends. I had hidden it from my colleagues, but one of them picked. It's those people who, even when you're 1 day pregnant, they can tell you. So the minute I told her, she was very happy. But at first, she was like, I knew it because I had as I said, the first 12 months were tough. So I had crazy headaches throughout. Like every single day, I was always on
wow.
medication. And then the whole change, I was always sleepy. I would just sleep on my desk. Yeah, but again, and then after that, I think I just found peace, accepting the circumstances under which this had happened. And then things just became smooth. But giving birth was not smooth. I didn't expect it. I knew because after that, as I said, my pregnancy was very smooth. I was ready for what we call normal vaginal birth. It didn't happen. The baby decided to arrive 4 weeks before.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was a very tough period again, because now we were in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care units, for a whole 10 days. And then COVID happened.
Oh.
So the Sunday I gave birth, Monday, you remember, if you don't get it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that Monday lockdown was announced.
Oh.
So there was no movement at all. They were not allowing people in the hospital. So the entire period I was in hospital was just me and my mom. Luckily, she had just arrived in Nairobi and she was locked in Nairobi. Yeah, so no visitors, no friends, a new mom in NICU. Yeah, I feel like that season really toughened me up. I had no choice than to toughen up. Yeah, but just looking at the baby and the mothers are amazing, because I never washed my baby for the first 3 months, not even once. That was the work of my mom.
Wow.
Because I had this fear. I don't know whether you've seen those NICU babies.
They're very small.
You don't even know how to hold them.
Can imagine.
Yeah, so you just feel like they can slip off your hands. I'm like, please handle the cleaning and everything else. And of course, with NICU babies, also breastfeeding is a challenge, because they're fast. You know, the way babies are placed on their mother's chest and they learn how to, what do you call it? I'm forgetting the name. Just let's call it suckle, but there's a name they use. So with NICU, they're used to being given the milk, so they don't exercise their the suckling. So when we went home, she could not breastfeed. My mother could not understand how they are specialists for breastfeeding, and we had to get someone to come and help me. And then immediately after like 5 days, because she was still not breastfeeding so well, she became dehydrated. And we had to go back to hospital, and we were admitted again. So my first months of motherhood were crazy.
Yeah.
Funny thing, I still want to do it again. Yeah.
More grace to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll explain why. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know the why, because I think the more you hear about like motherhood stories, the giving birth especially, I'm just like, is there any other method of getting these kids other than bringing them themselves? Yeah. And what about you? What were your first few months, or that process to give birth, and then after?
It's interesting listening to you, and for during my time, it was like one of those times where the whole community comes. Because I remember Hope, who is my firstborn, is those Kenyan kids called bomb blast children. So she came prematurely.
Go and give my age, why don't you?
Because of the bomb blast. I think all the mothers who panicked, they either gave birth immediately or a few days after. So Hope came a few days after.
Okay.
But it's interesting how people rallied around me. I remember that morning, she was born 5 minutes after midnight. By 6 a.m., I saw my mom. How she knew about it? Those were not the days of phones, by the way. I saw my mom, I saw my sisters, I saw my husband, and they all came and, of course, came with uji and all those things that they bring to a new mom. And then when I went home, I was surrounded by love. My mother-in-law came. There were all these people to take care of my child, people to cook for me, people to do all sorts of things. Of course, my husband was confused in the process. But I think my first few months as a mother were very delightful. Seeing different people. I lived in a community where there were quite some people from different parts of Africa. So a Nigerian lady would bring some food that has chili and tell me this is the best for mothers. A Congolese would bring some whatever international food. And I think when I compare your first few days months and mine, I think that was when Africa, the idea of community worked very well.
Yeah.
The idea of support came very well. I got so many gifts, all sorts of gifts. Gifts for me as a mother, gifts for the baby.
Wow.
It's unfortunate they didn't bring gifts for my husband. But I think that made, life kind of, what is it? For me, that made me welcome motherhood so positively. And although, of course, there are challenges, like, for example, my baby was these colic babies. They are crying all the time.
I was hungry. I lacked things. I wanted other things.
So those challenges looked very, very minute compared to the love, concern. Of course, a lot of advice. Some you throw out of the window, some you take. But I remember those days with nostalgia. Yeah.
That's lovely. But I think yours was also like just COVID and how COVID, like, I think sometimes we don't really think about the different ways COVID affected people. Like, I can't imagine if your mother never came to Nairobi on time, you would have literally been alone in the hospital.
Yes, and I know things work out. Just God orchestrates things, right? Because I had stopped feeling the baby's kicking. Like, I knew the things I would do and the baby would start kicking, like taking Fanta orange cold with ice cubes. So when I took that on Friday, like, there were no movements, and I remember calling my mom on Saturday. I'm like, hey, the movements have really reduced. Is not even at night because these babies would decide to play at 3 a.m. And I remember her calling me on Sunday morning, like she didn't even sleep, 6 a.m. Like, get out of that bed quickly to hospital. I'm like, Mom, I'm fine. And she's like, I'm not playing. So she called my cousin, my friend, make sure your friend in this hospital. And the minute now she's calling people, so I just told my friend, I went with a sling bag actually, because I'm like, let me just go home, because this woman won't give me peace. And then she started her journey to Nairobi immediately. It's the mother's instincts. I just don't know how it works.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's very powerful, because I look back and ask myself, those were the days when we didn't have mobile phones.
Yeah.
How did my own mother know that I've given birth?
And she came.
And this is prematurely.
Yeah.
How did my mother-in-law know? Because when I arrived home, she was also there.
Yeah.
Those maternal instincts Plus, of course, I think God guiding them, I think is so powerful. Yeah.
There's no other explanation.
Yeah.
It's just God.
Mm.
Yeah, because motherhood would have been tougher if she was not there. Because the entire time, every single thing that happened was just because of her instincts. Even the dehydration. I was fine. I was like, the baby is sleeping. At least I get to rest. And she's like, no. And when I refused to go to the hospital, she picked the baby, went to the caretaker, and told the caretaker, get me a car. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so she was going without you?
Oh, yeah. It's like, you sleep. Me, I'm going with the baby. This baby is not fine. So when we got to the hospital is when I got to see the gravity of the situation. Because she was going. It was bad. There were no veins. The nurses really had a hard time to get her veins. All because of my mother.
Wow.
Yeah. But after we enjoyed motherhood.
Wow. That's such a beautiful thing about like this intuition that sometimes you can read all the books in the world, because I think with our age there's so many books online, there's so many YouTubes, there's everything, but sometimes it's just intuition that you need. So what's been the most surprising part of motherhood?
I think for me, if I would summarize motherhood, first of all, it's a miracle. But number two, it's like 100 job descriptions compressed into one page. And yet you're expected to function in all these areas with competencies, with good standards. That has been surprising, but I think on the other hand, you realize motherhood brings out so many gifts, talents, resources that you didn't even know you have. So I think for me, that's very kind of inspiring. And it makes me look at motherhood as such a precious opportunity in life, because it also shapes you as you interact with this little human being that has come into the world and all that is associated with that human being. You realize, hey, there's so much God has packed into your life that can only come out in the space of being a mother.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Wow. And you?
That's deep.
Can't relate.
And I relate so much with what you've said, because motherhood changed me. And I say it was like a 360-degree turnaround for me, because here is a little human being that knows no one else but me. And I had to be present and drop those my ways. Yes.
Tell us more about those ways. What is that 360 exactly?
You could just right now you can just wake up and call, hi Lilian, where are you? Can we go and have coffee? Now I have to think through this coffee. How do I have the time? Do I have the finances? Can these finances go to tuition? School fees is coming and everything else. But I feel like motherhood brought her to a Lilian 2.0. A very responsible Lilian, a very patient, because motherhood will humble you. When they say they grow up so fast, people think is the
physical.
The physical. It's not. It's more than physical. It's the character. This child is picking your habits one by one. It's not what you say, it's what you do. When you see the child also picking like a paper and they're pretending they're on phone, they're like, oh, but that's what I do.
They become your mirror.
They are your mirror. I'm like, so now you have to be very careful, and not really careful. I'm looking for a word. Generally a responsible human being.
You have to be intentional.
And I feel like that replicates even in other areas of my life, not just in motherhood. How I show up to my friends, how I show up at work. There's the intentionality. I am a little bit patient. I used to be those people who get mad very fast. But who are you getting mad to? And nowadays we are doing gentle parenting. Yeah. So again, that's the other thing. The gentle parenting bit. Oh, sometimes you just want to whoop that child.
The African. Uh-huh.
And there's social media that keeps shouting at you every now and then, oh, we need to talk to, but the talking does not work at a point. Yeah. Yeah. But
I want to Nini on that a bit more. Like, what's it like raising a child today? Because there's so many influences that you said. There's gentle parenting, there's this sort of parenting. What is it? What does it feel like raising a child? Is there a lot of pressure to get it right?
yes, there's a lot of pressure to get it right because now there's a lot to compare to, right? When you go to schooling is not as it used to be back then, where you take your child to school and they'll be fine. Now there's so much to do. There are these academic trips when you go to school. The way your child shows up also matters in the neighborhood. There's the exposure to social media. So even if you have the restrictions in your own house, to maybe the kind of music you listen to how you talk to each other, the minute that child leaves your house and they go and interact with other children, you have no control what they're going to pick until they come back and you hear a word and you're like, oh, where did you learn that from? And then now you have to explain. And these children nowadays are asking you why. I'm like, because I said so. Why? it does not end with
That's
the way
why.
our parents would be like, because I said so. This one
They
you'll be like,
didn't even say. They just looked. My mom used to look at me, and I'm just like, okay, I've gotten it.
oh, nowadays you look, they look back. Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure to get it right, especially because of everything that is going on. But then again, we don't have the full control. So we can't do this without God. Yeah. At the end of the day, is realizing that it is a responsibility that I've been given by God, but He's the one to guide me to do it right, not by the world standards. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it's just thinking that you're a vessel. You're just here to give birth, do what you can, but ultimately how they turn out is to God and their decisions.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, you started raising kids many years ago, and I'm sure it's different from when you had your first kid to when you had your last child.
Yes.
How has that been, and how have you kind of navigated the different ways of raising your children?
It's so interesting listening to Lilian because I'm asking myself, how can you do that? As in, just to show us the big gap, because when I started raising, of course, Hope here, I think in those days there were things that were kind of the so-called traditional African setting. For example, I've just described about how people came. So even as you're bringing up your child, you are conscious that you are not the only one doing it. There are other people that are contributing to the growing up, the growing up of that child. So you're conscious that you are the parent, but there are other counselors, there are other mentors that are inputting into your child. And I think
The
that
concept of the village raising the child.
exactly, it was very much for my firstborn. By the time I reached the thirdborn, now what Lilian is describing started kicking in. I remember for my lastborn, the main thing was why? Eat fruits, why? Put this on, why? Go to sleep, why? And the earlier you realize that you can no longer say, because I have said. Instead, you have to take it as a learning moment. I think for me, that was the turning point when I realized, okay, my firstborn and my lastborn are two different creatures. My firstborn was okay with eat food. Yes, ma'am. My lastborn, I have to explain. And I think for me, as you're saying, this is also where you learn, you're shaped. You as a parent, you are shaped, because I realized I must listen to him. I must learn to answer his questions. But I also realized I must also seek resources to better parent. I can't tell you how many books I then okay, between Hope and the third one, of course, during Hope's time, I used to read books.
Just winging it.
But with time, you actually realize as a mother, you need to be resourced. You need to be resourced. And you see, if you are bringing up a boy and a girl, they're also very different, by the way. The needs of boys and the needs of girls are very different. So I read books. I went to parenting seminars. I talked to fellow ladies going through motherhood. I think for me, the more I got into the journey of motherhood, the more I realized I needed to be equipped. And I continue to be equipped even today, because now all my children are young adults. I realize the dynamics have changed. Yes, they are independent, but they look up to me as their guide. Now we can talk comfortably with Hope as equals in terms of she can even bring me here. So I realize she has a lot she can offer to me. So I think what I'm trying to say is that part of being a mother is discerning where are you in that motherhood journey. There are certain things that will remain core. For example, I think as a mother, it's important to be very intentional about loving your children, about caring for your children, about giving them the roots that will help them, the values that will help them to navigate this world. Those don't change. But at the same time, it's important as a mother to realize the world is changing. So you also need to change as a mother. You cannot continue sticking to the old habits. They will not work. You need to adapt, but certain things remain fundamental. Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
I could add to that. There's something you said that you have to learn to equip yourself. And I remember for me, actually, now after the discovery that there's no community in Nairobi, I had to intentionally build a community around my child. Who are the kind of people do I want her to grow around? Because as we said, these apartments, you can't control who is who and which household is doing what. But then there are people I had to bring into her life intentionally. People like Hope, that's how she's now core of my home, and many other people that I know when she's growing older, she may not be able to talk to me directly, but I'm like, go talk to Hope, right? So these are things you may not have grown up in brought the child up in a community, like you said, the African setting, because those things are
They're
fading.
going
They're going.
Yeah.
But we also need to build these systems around us,
Intentionally,
consciously and intentionally.
And I think I've seen through you how you've shown up for your child, attending graduation and all of that. And I can imagine from her side, she sees all these people and she's happy. So you also need to create what you want for your child. I want to talk about, so you're a single mom, and I can imagine that raising a child alone is not easy at all. What's that been like, and what are some things you wish people understood about what it means to be a single parent?
I wish people understood it's tough. Simple as that. Anyway, if there's the one thing I keep telling my friends, please don't get a child alone unless circumstances or things happen that you can't control. It is a tough job showing up in both roles, because it's also different. Single parenting is also different. The single parenting where the other partner is present and is supporting, even if you're not together. But my case is the partner is completely, there's no partner.
It's just you.
It's just me. And the toughest part is now as my child is growing up and now she's cognizant, this is not how an ideal family looks like. I see a father in so-and-so's house. When we go to these school functions, there are two parents coming in, and she's realizing it's the fathers that do the pick up and drop, and she's like, now, where's my father? I think that's, for me, has been the toughest, answering that question and not giving too much information and also giving just enough, the balance of what is enough. And And of course, you can see, even when I give those very, I know it's not the absolute truth, but she's like, that does not make sense.
Math isn't math.
Yeah. And then now, that's the tough part. The sad part is when now you see her playing out the role of the father. Yes, you will hear her making phone calls, imaginary phone calls. Oh yeah, when she's playing with her doll, she runs to the bedroom to talk to the dad. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, so that's the tough part. The tough part is not even finances. See, it's the emotional
side.
Yeah, the emotional side for me is the toughest. Money can always be made,
But it's
and you can always create community. But the emotional heaviness of it is the toughest for me. Yeah,
I guess what can also be scary is how it shapes or comes out in her future.
correct.
Because we hear how sometimes how your childhood shapes who you become in the future. And so it's like you worry, what will she be like because she didn't have a dad, or how will that show up?
Will she go to therapy and say I was a toxic mother?
But I think on the other hand, I really applaud what you're doing, because I think motherhood is tough, yes, and like you have said, for a single mother. But I think you can be comforted in the fact that what you're doing, you also have the help of God in certain areas where you cannot do it. Like, there are certain wounds only God can heal. There are certain needs only God can meet. And I think for me, because I've watched some of my friends who probably their marriages have disintegrated and they have had to raise their children alone, I have seen as they do their part, and I really congratulate you for what you are doing. But I've also seen God come in very unique ways, to such an extent that when you look at those children, for lack of a better phrase, they turn out well because God is in the picture. Yeah.
Thank you. I see hope, and I have hope.
I feel like I should leave the room for you too. Okay. All right. So, we've talked a lot about motherhood and how you've poured into your children, but I also want to talk about how motherhood has changed you as individuals, your dreams, your relationship with yourself, with other people. And so, how has it changed your identity? From Lilian, the young girl, from you'll not be happy with me calling you by your name, from Christine. It's my podcast, I can do what I want. From Christine, the young girl, to who you are today, how has it changed your identity? Are there things you've had to let go of or sacrifice in the quest to be Lilian, the digital transformation and all these things, and the mother?
Yes, a lot. As I said, it was a 360-degree turnaround for me. And the most beautiful thing that happened to me is through the tough motherhood journey, the very first months, it was tough and really broke me emotionally. I feel like I was dealing with a lot, this whole COVID, the loneliness, the relationship that never worked, a new job that was so tough at that time. Many other times I had to travel with my young baby and the nanny because work had to be done, right? And the most beautiful thing for me was finding God during that season. And I renewed my relationship with God. And in everything I do I am anchored in faith. And as I'm raising this child, I feel like I'm now more intentional in bringing her in the ways of God. Not to say I was not brought up like that, but I feel like back then, we were community children. Oh, everybody used to go to church. The entire community used to go to church. Sunday school, we used to go together, all of us. It was there. It was obvious. Now it's not. So I am very intentional in the spaces that I'm taking my child. If it's the holiday comes where she's being taught at home, even the school that I chose. So all that. So apart now from now, the my relationship with God being rekindled. The other thing is now I'm very intentional with my growth because I need her to see the other side. My job involves me traveling a lot. And I used to have this mom guilt of I'm leaving my child behind. But when I look at it, I'm like, I'm showing her the world of possibilities. Like, oh, so I can have a job that I can travel the world. And she loves it. And she talks about it with pride. I'm like, oh, so it gives me joy to show her the things that I'm doing for myself. It's not just about her. And I intentionally tell her, Mama, it's it's mommy's time now. Please go play with your friends. I need to do A, B, C, and D. She won't like it, but at the back of her mind, she has registered it. So I watch her when I'm very keen to see how she's playing with her dolls. And she repeats the same thing. It's time for you to go and sleep. Mommy needs her time. And she covers her
Wow.
children and she has her own time, takes
Oh,
her
wow.
tea. And I'm like,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the mom guilt, that's how I deal with it. I am showing her that it is okay to carve out time for yourself. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. And you?
As Lilian has said, motherhood actually does change your identity in many ways. It's interesting from the time I gave birth, and my last born is turning 21, so it's a long time ago. But today, even if I am in a space where it's a whole multitude and a child cries, I will turn. So, in other words, my identity as a mother kind of has been so shaped that it continues to affect me today. Now, let me talk about. I've said that I'm in the higher education space, but because of motherhood, if you look at my CV, it has lots of gaps. Moments where I intentionally decided I'm staying at home to take care of my children.
What made you decide to do that?
I think for me, I just, okay, on one hand, I think the reality that motherhood is a miracle and the fact that I saw some of my friends try to get kids and they are not getting kids. Even when married, I saw my friends miscarry. I saw all sorts of things surrounding childbirth. When mine came, it's like I held the miracle a little too tight. So I was willing to sacrifice anything and everything, including a job. Like, for example, I remember initially, I'm supposed to be an agricultural officer. And so you are sent to the farthest corners of the world. I said, no, I'm not going to go to Mandera with my
Nothing
mother.
wrong with Mandela, but
No. Here is the thing. You see, professionally, I actually had to make decisions and even change professions to kind of hold my miracle. So I think it's more of that. But there was also the societal expectation, the template given to you as a mother. Take care of your children. Sacrifice, do all that. And I actually realized for me that kind of formed my identity as a mother. I saw myself as the protector, the one who should shape. Even at some point, unfortunately, not remembering that my husband is also in this. So your identity as a mother can be shaped by the template you're given. Like in my case, it was also the template, but also the O of motherhood that for me was very real. It actually shaped. Right now, and looking back, I realize I don't regret the sacrifices I made professionally to raise up my kids. I remember during COVID, one of my sons had issues with school. And I stopped everything and homeschooled him for 2 good years. And he was a teenager. Now, add teenage to that equation.
I want to say it's the last one.
Yes, it's the last born. But you see, I think you also grow in your identity. You start realizing your identity is not tied to jobs. It's not tied to money. It's not tied to material things, it's tied to things that last. Things like the love of my boy will cause me to just be there for him. The fact that I want to support him during a difficult time of his life, that will last.
Yeah.
So I think also you realize in this identity issue, you start realizing there are things that define you as a person. There is what the world defines you like, but there is what really defines you. And I think for me, motherhood has given me the classroom to learn that. Now I'm not scared by titles. I'm not scared by, they are good, yes. I mean, nobody wants, I mean, people want to have all this, whatever. They are good. But what is really important? Motherhood has given me the opportunity to refine
learn
those
that.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say clock it?
Don't do this.
Clock it.
Yeah, no, I think that's such a powerful, because
Yeah.
identity is something that we struggle with. There are many things that will come and shake our idea of what our identity is, but it's realizing what's important irrespective of all these things, because you could have a big job and be made redundant, and that shakes your entire identity. You could become a mother and have to sacrifice, and that changes your entire identity. So it's realizing what are those core things irrespective of the titles that you get that really shape your identity. Yeah. So I know we're running out of time. 2 last questions. One is, can you be a good mother and still choose yourself? You're looking
Yes.
shocked. Tell us. The millennial mom.
Ooh. The reason why I say yes is because, like Mom said, the template. What template am I giving my child? That she has to get lost in motherhood for her to prove she's a good mother. Right? Apart from motherhood, I have many other things that require me to show up better, to show up as Lilian. And I'm very intentional. Whether there are spaces I go, I'm like, I am Lilian. I'm not Mama Mumbi here. I am Mama Mumbi at home, but when I am here, I am Lilian. So I say those two can coexist. You can become an amazing mother, and you can also carve out your own identity away from motherhood. Yes, I don't think I can go any deeper than that. It needs to be a simple,
Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And you, over almost 27 plus years of being a mother.
Now you
can
know
you
your
still-
age.
Now you know my age.
No, you maybe I had another one.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, can you be a good mother and still choose yourself?
I agree with Lilian. You can actually do that, but you have to be very intentional as well. You see, this is a very different human being that you have brought into this world.
Yeah.
I think realizing that helps you to know, because like you have said, I've been a mother for a number of years. Right now, the fact and the reality of my present situation is my children are busy following their paths. If I didn't realize that they are different from me, I would be a crushed woman today. So the fact that they are different, a child is different from you, you can still, and that's why I'm bringing the issue of intentionality. You must realize that you have this God-given role to bring up this child. That's motherhood. But you also have a God-given role to be yourself and to be the best version of what God intended you to be, to fulfill that which God created you for. That one fulfills what God created them for, you as well. And that's why you can still be a good mother and be the best version of yourself. But you have to think through, what does that mean practically? For example, like I've had to self-develop. In the educational space, you have to keep adding this and adding that. And even when I'm breastfeeding, when the child sleeps, I read.
You took me to class.
Oh, yes. Exactly. Yes. So the two should coexist. That's the design of God. Yes. Otherwise, mothers would be very desperate people, people who are regretting because of being mothers. And especially when you compare with our male counterparts.
Yeah.
When you look at, for example, my husband, his career has gone like this. Me, it is up and down. Well, so if you compare, that's where the problem comes. But if you realize, I'm here for this season, and this season is important, I develop him or her, I develop myself. That way, you will live without some of the regrets I see. Because I realize, especially when, for us women, sometimes we feel like motherhood is a barrier to becoming the best version of ourselves. Motherhood is an obstacle to career growth. Motherhood, all those whatevers that are there today. I think, and that's a conversation that we need to have, to realize that motherhood is a job, a good job. And for every job, what is required? Give it your best. Give faithfulness to it.
But also that job can end. It has its season.
Precisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Ready. Ready
You
to
will be
a
a very
mom.
good mother.
She's truly your child.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, what's your final takeaway to that young person who's thinking, should I be a mother? Should I not be a mother? That mother who's in the thick of it, struggling, from all your years of experience collectively. What's your takeaway?
Well, I can start with the youngest is 6 years of experience. Motherhood is beautiful. And if you need convincing, I'm even looking at the camera. Just look at this two picture. Look at this. These are the joys of motherhood. I cannot even define it any better. It is like when you plant that seed, you don't even know what's going to happen to it. But you give it the attention, you water it, if fertilizer is needed, you give it. And then it will grow and give you fruits. And when we look at you, Hope, I don't know what mom will say, but me, I'm proud. And I keep telling you, you're one person who gives me a lot of hope. That name was very... was the best choice. And sometimes when I'm struggling with motherhood with my child, is I look at you, I look at my friends, and I'm like, one day I will look back and I will thank God. It is that job. It is the one thing that I've been given by God, and I am enjoying it. It's beautiful. Ooh, when you've had a long day and you come and you're given those tiny squishy hugs and I tell, love you, mommy, and you forget about the entire world and its struggles. Motherhood is the best hood. Join us. Yes.
You had it there.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yes.
Go for it and give it your best.
Yeah.
It's challenging, but it's very fulfilling. It is the one thing in this world that you actually realize, I have the potential to shape this world through motherhood. So go for it. Don't fear. I know these days, and because I'm involved with young people a lot, sometimes the one thing they consistently tell me, I want to get married, but I don't want to have kids. And maybe because of the current circumstances, but the truth of the matter is, challenges will always be there. It's only that they take different shapes and sizes. Go for motherhood. It is something that will change you, will change a child, and will change the world.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, so much wisdom. I'm so excited. we have to continue with part 2 of other bits of you, because I think you're both women with a lot of wisdom. And thank you. And also, I see both of you. Mom, I really appreciate all the sacrifices that you made, staying at home. I think my mom always showed up. Every event you were performing, she was there. Parent, teacher, she was there. Whatever it is. And even right now, she shows up for I like how she also shows up for our own passions. Remember, there was one time I was really into photography. My mom bought me a very expensive camera. She bought a young child a camera. So that's just to show how much she shows up. So thank you. And Lilian, I see how you show up for Mumbi, how you show up for us, and you're raising a good girl. Don't doubt yourself. She's going to be a very strong and confident girl. It's feeling a bit emotional, but thank you to everyone and to me for being a wonderful daughter and making me a mother.
Yay.
But
You
yeah,
are a great daughter, Hope.
thank you. All right, thank you to everyone. Make sure you comment anything that you've learned from this, or maybe take the opportunity to thank your mother for who she's been to you. And that's it. It's a wrap. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.